there is an element of flex in terms of how you trade. So, you might be using, I think the problem is the biggest challenge I see is people are taking in too many different sources of information. That's hard. But you have to almost categorize what it is you are doing. So I always say to swing traders, very often it's less is more. There's a tendency that if something is not working out or you're going through a drawdown period, try and add or change things too quickly. So I would say the three things I get my guys to do is get consistent at your overall market analysis. So if you're trading one market as a day trader, get consistent at how you do that and the time you allocate to it. If you're one of our swing traders and you're looking at, say, 30 markets and you're drilling down to, pulling out 4 or 5 that meet a certain condition, practice that skill. So only think, right, I've got to get good at that skill. Then there's trade execution and getting skillful at the pattern recognition of whatever your entry or strategy is. So I'm uber clear on what I need to do in that 10 or 15 minutes in the morning, in the evening, in terms of placing the trade. And then lastly, just get into the habit of journaling and collecting data. If you did those 3 things, and somebody listening might go, well, I don't really clear on my strategy. Well, okay, so you need to get clear on what your strategy is by testing it and being happy with that. But I would say they're the 3 things that I get my guys is get good at your analysis. That's your craft. So you can look at any market and determine whether it fits the particular type of condition that you trade in. Then get good at actually physically placing the trade and reordering your possible trade list and honing in on when you need to place the order. And then get good at data collection, i.e. filling in your whatever form of trade spreadsheet you use to track your trades and your journal. From there, you've only got 3 things you need to think about. If you've got more than 3 things to think about or focus on, then it becomes less easy, becomes much harder to be effective at any of them because you're spreading yourself too thin. So that's a good way of checking in is, am I trying to focus on more than 3 things? And I'm only going to do one thing at once, but I only really want 3 skills at maximum that I'm focusing on as a whole. And then I'm like, right, okay, those 3 things are going to take time and application to get better at. And then I review each one on its own, and then I review all of them as a whole in terms of the guys that I work with.